Hey everybody, welcome back. Psychedelic here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I only have two LPs plus one single to share, and hope you guys are enjoying those video mixes I've been making. I'm actually really having a lot of fun with it myself, collaborating and kind of putting all these different themes together and ripping them from my turntable, and you know, got all these different effects thrown at you, and whether it be the visual aspect of it or the sounds that you hear, I'm just having a lot of fun making them. They're kind of time consuming, but I've had some time in the evenings to make them to make up for it. So um, I'll probably have two more queued up, and then maybe I'll take a break from it. But they've been a lot of fun, and it sounds like you guys are enjoying it too. So I'll probably just move on to some other video ideas. Like the one I had, a couple months ago where I did the ranked all the Capitol records and mainstream records. I might go back to that theme. We'll just see whatever happens. Whatever happens, happens, and do maybe the ABC or the Uni label. Just whatever one I'm in the mood for. Both fantastic labels. And I actually got some cool records here to share too. They all got kind of cool stories and cool stuff to share here. So let's get started. So this first one, we'll start with the single. This is one of those things where I just, probably 10 years ago I discovered the single, 2010, 2011-ish. Was when I was really heavily into like garage rock primarily instead of just psych. And I was just into discovering a lot of things on Nuggets comps or Nuggets compilation and Pebbles, Back from the Grave, Teenage Shutdown, all those compilations. And somehow I ran across this single, and then I learned that Billy Gibbons was in this band. And I actually picked up a first issue of the Moving Sidewalks with 99th Floor. It's the first issue on Tantera, and it actually has some notes on here. It says VG Scuffs plays VG Plus. I actually never even looked at that. Yeah, he's talking about the record here. I would say it plays about VG. I mean, it's got a few pops maybe in the middle, or at the beginning, I should say, but it plays loud and proud. You can't even tell that it has, any surface noise barely. So this plays just really, really nice. So yeah, it's kind of like their little nod to the Elevators, being from Texas, 99th Floor. The Moving Sidewalks were fantastic. I even heard, some arguments that people even prefer their singles rather than their LP, which, I would say their LP has a little more depth to it. It's a little more in the acid rock, blues rock vein, whereas, this is more of the garage side. But I enjoy both their singles and the LP itself. No, but 99th Floor, it's just one of those essential garage rock pieces, just like You're Gonna Miss Me. I mean, it's on that level to me. But this also got reissued on the Wand label, which I always thought that was like the first press, but apparently this is. Got a great deal on this on eBay. Very much in the comfort zone of my price range, and this thing plays really well. Even though it is VG, this thing plays really loud, in your face, and I love it. So yeah, it's kind of, most famously known for having Billy Gibbons, who later go on to ZZ ZZ Top. ZZ Top's pretty cool. I don't have any problem with them. Their first album rocks pretty hard, but they had a very successful career. No, ZZ Top's pretty cool. All right, and to this next one here. This is got kind of a cool story to it, but yet at the same time kind of unfortunate on my end. So the cool thing was that my record store in Lincoln, the owner there, he let me know that some psych titles came in, and I'm pretty much like the only psychedelic guy here in Nebraska. Thank you. Thank goodness, right? So he let me know some psych titles came in, and he gave me a list of stuff, and I had pretty much all the good stuff that was in the list. He had a promo of Richard Twice, a copy of Snow on Epic, Osmosis on RCA Victor, if you guys know those titles. I actually already have those LPs. There was a few I didn't know about, but I checked them out, and there's some soundtracks on like the Sidewalk label, which is like a sub label to Tower that I didn't recognize, and those pulls for big bucks. I forget the title right now, but just a lot of different obscurity things that you just never find. But funny enough, I asked him, where'd you get these at? We were talking a while, and he actually found them in a small town, just south of Lincoln here. And I was like, was that the listing I saw in the marketplace? And sure enough, it was. And I missed out on it, damn it. If I would have went to that sale before he did, man, I could have flipped those bad boys. But yeah, I didn't pick up on any of those psych titles except for one. And this is one that I didn't really need. This is kind of one of those albums where, I'd probably pick it up down the road if I found it for like 10, 15 bucks. But I had some stuff to trade in, so we just kind of did a trade. And I picked up this, and this was out of the bunch as well. The Wind in the Willows. And this one is also famous for Debbie Harry, who you all should know, who was in Blondie. And here she's the brunette. Got a gatefold, and of course we all love the Unipacks. And yeah, it's got. So the thing about this album, I was pretty familiar with it for the most part. I knew it had like a poetry track. It's like a section taken out of the Wind in the Willows book. But I would say it opens up very weak. It's not a very good first impression if you guys, first dive into this album. It's one of those albums that opens up with like a jug band throwaway track, where everybody's playing on the kazoos. You got the ragtimey piano playing, and they end it, of course, with like a little percussive noise. It's just all those tracks in psych albums. Like if there was a pet peeve, those things really get on my nerves. And this album in particular has one of those tracks, and that is Uptown Girl, not Billy Joel's song. But yeah, the first four tracks are kind of weak. They kind of teeter-totter around up until the last track, and then pretty much the whole side two really kicks it up a notch. And this album really reminds me of the Tingling Mother Circus on the Music Core label. It's kind of fun. It's kind of quirky. Has some kind of interpretive lyrics when you read them. When you're reading through them, like the Friendly Lion. Could mean a lot of different things if you kind of dissect the lyrics a little bit. But it also ends on probably the most aesthetic tracks closing the album. She's Fantastic and She's Yours, and Wheel of Changes. So it's got some good sprinkled around, I would say, but it's not a mind blower for sure. It's not one of the top Capitol records. I don't even think this was in my top 20 Capitol records. And I'm probably still on that track too. I probably wouldn't put it in the top 20. I don't even think I put Hard Water in the top 20. But yeah, The Wind in the Willows, not a mind bender, but it's still a fun LP if you're into just different styles of pop music from the 60s. Okay, and then for this last one, so I've been kind of getting into a little bit of the, what should I say it, the K word, Krautrock. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that word either, so if it hits people the wrong way, I'm sorry. It's kind of a derogatory term, but it's not really a genre either at the end of the day, but I guess you could call it kind of progressive, experimental space rock. It just kind of falls under a whole bunch of different categories, but this one in particular kind of falls into like primarily just progressive hard rock with some psychedelic flourishes sprinkled around. But yeah, this is one I've wanted a long time, and I just thought to myself, what's something I could purchase after making those sales on Instagram, and I still have a lot left over. There's actually something in the works I'm trying to look up that's not progressive German rock, but it's actually a UK original I'm looking up, so that will be quite a find if I actually get my hands on that. It's in the works though. I'm actually trying to look at photos. He's trying to send me some yet. The seller. Anyways, on to this one. Um, wanted it a long time and don't have anything on this label either, except for a reissue. And this is DS Irae with their album First. And this is a original pressing from France on the Pills label. It's got a gatefold here. Yeah, kind of mirrored image there with some lyrics inside. This is a very dark hard rock, but also on the progressive side. Kind of taking a lot of inspiration from like U.S. bands that played a lot of blues rock. They don't play like a whole lot of straight up blues tracks, but it's kind of like underneath it's like a lot of blues undertones. And this thing just really rocks out, and it's a real trip for sure. So I really enjoyed this. This was really fun listening to and picking up. I mean, I gotta dive into this, the German side of things for a while. Feels kind of nice, you know, stepping outside of the, you know, U.S. pop site. And yeah, very happy with this purchase. Plays about VG Plus. Yeah, it's like VG Plus near mint. And if I had to name some tracks or inspirations, you know, some things come to mind like Black Sabbath, you know. Starts off with a track called Lucifer, you know, Witches Meeting, Harmageddon, Dragon Love. So these guys are very stoned out. But yeah, I really enjoy these tracks. Probably the highlight for everybody would be Trip, which is like a 7-minute piece. Very Floyd inspired. Kind of reminds me of Careful with That Axe, Eugene. And it's just a lot of fun listening to this and kind of getting back into the groove of, you know, German hard rock, and just a lot of fun. So it was a nice pickup and didn't have to pay out of pocket for that, which is another good thing. But yeah, DS Irae, it's good stuff. Got another German original coming in the mail. Might actually take a couple months because it's shipping out of Germany, and it's actually shipping on a ship, literally. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully there'll be a new mix perhaps this week. We'll see. See if I get around to it maybe on Thursday or this weekend I have off. So take care, and we shall see you soon.